Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers. Today we are in the coastal village of Blackrock at the Grafton and Le Grand Colon Beach Resorts. Come explore these Caribbean vacation properties with us as we discover all they have to offer. As usual, it's been an eventful week for us, so in the next half hour, we will bring you up to date with all that's been happening in Tobago. Stay with us for all the details, starting with this week's headlines. This week, women's health and wellness are in focus with the commissioning of the Pink Room in Louis d'Or. The Chief Secretary meets with tourism stakeholders. We'll tell you what they discussed. The Tobago House of Assembly says farewell to one chief administrator and welcome to another. And later, we'll bring you highlights of the Taste of Tobago Golf Classic Tournament. It's all coming up when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us.
Happy times. Summer garden, 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 yeah, summer garden.
Keep watching Let's Talk Tobago.
Located along a stunning stretch of coastline with breathtaking views of the Atlantic Ocean are the Grafton and Le Grand Colon Beach Resorts. Now, they each capture the essence of a Caribbean vacation, whether you're planning a family trip or a romantic getaway. Women's health is a hot topic today, one that requires special attention, and it's getting just that with the launch of the Pink Room, a service aimed at helping women become the best versions of themselves. Here's this story.
A new women's health clinic was recently opened to the public. It's called the Pink Room, and it's located in Louis d'Or, next to the Tobago Emergency Health Services base. The clinic's main purpose is to improve women's health-related issues on the island, with a special focus on reducing the number of breast cancer cases with earlier detections.
The service is going to be like a one-stop shop. So we are screening, we have 3 doctors here, we have nurses, we do the screening. By the second visit, they will have the diagnosis rather than having several visits. So we have the model is like a one-stop shop. So you will have, for instance, family planning, you can have your pap test done, you can have your result on time. You can have your counseling, your sexual and reproductive health concerns, your contraceptives, those are done. So that's on one side of that. And then in addition to that, we deal with the breast clinic. So you can have your mammogram, your ultrasound, all of those done.
Dr. Rajan Rampol, Medical Director of the Pink Hibiscus Breast Health Specialist Center, believes this service will transform the journey of women's health in Tobago.
What we have here and our vision for the Pink Room is to transform the journey of a concerned or worried woman and to transform the journey of a woman with no problems but needs to be screened so that we can encourage her to come back again and again. We're looking forward to changing the community on this side of Tobago to be able to be excited about healthcare.
Patients attending this clinic would have access to state-of-the-art services such as breast oncology and reconstructive surgery, breast care advice and counseling, lump assessment, breast pain treatments, and many other procedures.
Given the demands of life and society, how many women here this afternoon can honestly say that they keep an eye on their physical and mental health? How many of you would agree with Michelle that it's indeed difficult to find time to take care of you as an individual while trying to balance work, home, and children? Unfortunately, for many of you, this is your reality. But somewhere in the midst of all of this madness, it is important for you as women to recognize that you have to add you to your to-do list.
This is the first clinic of its kind to be commissioned on the island. It is free to the public and operated Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. A second clinic is scheduled to be opened in the near future. I am David Jacobs for Let's Talk Tobago.
Carefully thought out for comfort and convenience, Grafton Beach Resort offers a relaxing environment for families, while Le Grand Colon caters to adults only. They are both designed to help you unwind and enjoy your vacation. Now, the men are also in focus this week. This time, they're having a long overdue conversation about prostate cancer, one that could lead to a better quality of life for men in Tobago. Kern de Freitas explains.
It's a killer subject that many men are scared to talk about. But prostate cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths among men in this country. Tobago recently started that dialogue with a prostate cancer seminar at the Scarborough Library facility, and it was a sign that more men are ready to open up about their fears and concerns about the disease. The event was oversubscribed by more than 50%. The attending men weren't shy about their questions.
So I wanted to know, what is the risk factor? What causes, which still don't know as men, what is the real reason why?
I think all men have a switch in their prostates that's meant to come on, all right? And if it comes on when you're 50, it comes on when you're 50. If it comes on when you're 80, it comes on when you're 80. What accelerates that switch would be your family history and your ethnicity.
I would like to know what are the advantages and disadvantages of having the surgery done.
Two greatest differences is with one, you get your problems early, yeah? So that's the major thing with surgery, is that if you're going to have a complication of treatment, it happens very early, yeah? So by the time you wake up, if you're going to have a problem, you know it. Whereas with radiation, you're going to get your problems later on.
Currently, research is ongoing into prostate cancer medications most suitable to Trinidad and Tobago's unique environment. For University of the West Indies researcher Diane Ignacio, the answer may lie in indigenous plants.
So, this process, unfortunately, we have little research money, so it's a very slow process in our region, Trinidad and Tobago. However, lots of research going on, rapid progress in these first world countries, and I believe we can get up to that if we get some money.
Age and family history are two major factors for prostate cancer. From a Tobago House of Assembly perspective, tackling this issue is critical for Health Secretary Dr. Agatha Carrington.
Engaging this group of men means to say that we are trying to reach out to stakeholders and launching a very focused campaign such that you become much more aware in terms of this particular priority.
A second leg of the seminar was hosted for East Tobago residents at the Betsy's Hope Louis D'Or multipurpose facility. I'm Kern de Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
Both resorts offer various room styles to accommodate your needs. Depending on your budget, you can choose a standard room or a suite like this one with a balcony that offers a garden or an ocean view. The rooms are all elegantly furnished to give you the feel of luxury. Now this, it's not often the public gets to enjoy breakfast as guests of the Chief Secretary. But recently, Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles hosted tourism representatives to talk about the Tobago House of Assembly's plans for the sector and to get their feedback about the challenges facing the industry. Here's what they said.
Breakfast with the Chief, as it was titled, was another opportunity to engage the tourism sector. This is being seen as critical to rebuilding the industry and improving the island's tourism product. Accompanying the Chief Secretary at the head table were the Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, Nadine Stewart Phillips, and the CEO of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, Mr. Louis Lewis.
We are here today as a start, and therefore I wish to commend all of you and the associations you represent for taking the opportunity to be with us. And perhaps it is the first time in a long time that you are meeting with a sitting Chief Secretary, the incumbent Secretary for Tourism, and of course, the CEO of the Tobago Agency, because, you know, the agency did not exist prior to this administration coming into office.
The dialogue was quite informative. The stakeholders had their own queries and concerns, but more importantly, they also offered suggestions on the way forward for the industry.
We used to have a desk in Piarco, a designated desk for Tobago. So when the visitors come and they have to pass through Piarco, they used to get some kind of an assistance. If they are in immigration, we could call Caribbean Airlines and say, look, we have 3 passengers here, they're on the whatever it is flight and so on. We need to have a discussion on that designated desk at PIACO so that we can facilitate in a better way those people who are coming to Tobago.
Chief, I'd like to ask your input for some greater facilitation for that small property sector from the perspective of property upgrades. I know we have the loan guarantee program as an option, as well as the reimbursement program. But our greatest challenge in the first place is our ability to access funding to do these initial upgrades if we have to take advantage of the reimbursement, because equity may not be an option for us given what is happening in terms of revenues coming in slower, that you can do it out of pocket, and then to access your reimbursement, we have to try to get loans.
Owner of Waterholics, Alex Ned, says while the THA is doing its part to develop tourism, there are those who can deter tourists from returning simply by their approach. He says this includes the jet ski and reef tour hustlers in Crown Point.
You're finally getting the 70% or the people to come here. But as they arrive to the airport, they are approached by characters, meaning the hustlers. So all our work you're putting in. So from the arrival at the airport to Storey, straight to Storey, not some professional, very few, most of them not. So that is the face of the tourism after you're doing all this work, spending all this money. So I tell people, you will try going like an unmanned vehicle. Well, chief, you can't go with the BM.
Wedding planner Asha Mars says the wedding tourism niche has great potential if vendors step up to the plate.
We as stakeholders need to step up our game. We have the responsibility to market ourselves as well. We can't really depend on you to do a whole lot. So I commend you for doing your part, and I recommend that stakeholders probably assess where they are and do probably training or something.
Mr. Charles is assuring the stakeholders his team will continue to meet with them and assist in addressing some of these key issues. I'm Patricia Nicholson for Let's Talk Tobago.
The outgoing chief administrator has retired after 4 decades in the public service. He was appreciated for his contributions at a recent ceremony. This story and more right after these messages.
So when you're here, fiddle and tambourine and talk, rush back a dance and fight made a walk, jumping old time carnival, pulsing by the sea. Come true like Tobago is the place to be.
Tobago Heritage Festival from mid-July to August 1st. Tobago, it's the place to be.
Come on here, boaters, don't let it all. Come and spend July in Tobago.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. We are at Grafton Beach Resort, where they offer a variety of meal plans, including bed and breakfast and all-inclusive packages. If you're coming to Tobago, Grafton Beach Resort should be an option for your stay. Now, after serving as chief administrator since 2014, Ray Sandy has said goodbye to the public service. He was among the retirees honored at a recent appreciation ceremony. Here's more.
They are now happily retired. After working more than 3 decades in the public service, Claudette Arthur, Pearl Murray Baird, and former Chief Administrator Ray Sandy have all said goodbye to their active working life. They were appreciated at a retirement function hosted by the Assembly.
I would have interacted with all three just about over 2 years ago in a formal position. I interacted more closely with Mrs. Baird and Mr. Sandy than I did with Mrs. Arthur, because Mrs. Arthur worked directly with Mr. Sandy. And I must say that they all made my life quite easy. And in fact, they assisted me tremendously in respect of the transition, because I really came from, in a very real sense, outside of the public service to a position where I was now in charge at the political level of the public service of Tobago.
As one chapter ends, another begins. So the newly appointed Chief Administrator, Bernadette Solomon Karoma, shared some words of encouragement with the new retirees.
Enjoy the downtime, reflect, relax, look to the future, and determine your next course on the journey. This is just retiring from the public service. It is not retiring from life.
There's a saying that goes, gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It's the spark that lights a fire of joy in your soul. And former Chief Administrator Ray Sandy understands that only too well.
And I really want to thank you for coming out and for giving us this final, what I should say, hurrah, final farewell. You know, and it's really appreciated. I want to say thank you very much. And as we go ahead with our various lives, I know that at some time we may have to interact with you young people who are still in the public service.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the winds beneath my wings.
Fuel up in the morning with a buffet-style breakfast at the on-site Ocean View restaurant. And a short walk down to the beach will bring you to the popular Waves restaurant and bar for a selection of local and international dishes, snacks, and cocktails. Now, the Equal Opportunity Act was proclaimed to ensure every citizen has an equal place in Trinidad and Tobago. Not everyone is fully aware of these rights, so Umadara Mills visited the Equal Opportunity Commission to find out more. Here's this story.
It's illegal to discriminate against others, whether it's because of race, ethnicity, sex, marital status, disability, geographic origin, or religion. If you think you may have been discriminated against, you can lodge a complaint with the Equal Opportunity Commission, the EOC. Since 2009, the EOC has functioned according to the Equal Opportunity Act of 2000. It helps to ensure citizens get fair treatment in the provision of goods and services, education, employment, and housing.
The thinking behind the Equal Opportunity Act is that decisions should not be based on certain characteristics. It should be based on merit and ability. So you should not decide to hire somebody because of their race, or fire them because of their religion, or say, I'm not hiring people because of their geographical origin.
The Commission fulfills its mandate through research, advocacy for equality, sensitization workshops, and the conciliation of complaints. At least 5% of the annual complaints come from Tobago. So far, all have been related to employment. Residents can meet with the EOC officers at the Office of the Ombudsman in Bacalet every fourth Friday of the month.
We have been able, for example, to conciliate some of these matters. And when we conciliate matters from Tobago, we actually come to Tobago with our conciliation team, and we use facilities in Tobago for conciliation, so that persons from Tobago don't have to come to Trinidad for that.
We are also accessible free of charge for persons who wish to seek redress with the Commission. So why would you access the Equal Opportunity Commission? I mean, litigation is costly. And because we provide a free service, at least until conciliation, you can access us and resolve your matter.
To seek redress, you'll have to fill out a complaint form in print or via the EOC's website. An officer will then investigate the matter. At the level of the Commission, both parties may have to meet in order to reconcile the grievance. To learn more about the Commission, visit www.equalopportunity.gov.tt or call 672-0928. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Are you planning on getting married or renewing your vows? Let Le Grand call and cater to your special day. Whether it's a grand ceremony or an intimate evening with close family and friends, poolside or beachside, restaurant or lounge, Le Grand has you covered, right down to the private bar. Now, it was a thrilling battle to the end as the first ever Champions of Champions community football tournament recently ended. So if you're a football lover, this story is for you. Here's more.
It was the boys from the Hill of Bethel that took home the grand prize of $50,000 and bragging rights at the first ever Champions of Champions Community Football League held in Tobago. Scores of patrons flocked to the field of Mount Pleasant to witness the thrilling final between Bethel Church Street and Phoenix FC. It was a game filled with excitement from start to finish, but in the end, the better of the two was crowned. This tournament was also a means of identifying football talent in Tobago, which in turn gives Tobago football and footballers the exposure they so desire.
And therefore I want to congratulate all of you and encourage you at the same time to remain committed to the development of football and to the development of our young people and our communities here in Tobago by extension.
Phoenix FC were the runners-up of the league, put on by Tobago Events Advertising and Marketing Services. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up next on Let's Talk Tobago, we have highlights of the recent Taste of Tobago Golf Classic tournament hosted by the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. It's all coming up after this break. Don't go away.
Come, there we go to Tobago, that paradise, found by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
Grafton and Le Grand Colon Beach Resorts invites you to begin your next adventure right here in Tobago. All you have to do is bring the family, take a girls trip, or book your outdoor excursion. Here, your accommodation is one less thing to worry about. The Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute recently hosted its second annual golf tournament. And from the looks of things, everyone enjoyed themselves, not only playing the sport, but sampling some great tasting food. Here's more.
The folks from the THTI recently hosted their second annual Taste of Tobago Golf Classic tournament. They teed off for 2 days of golf, fun, and camaraderie at the Magdalena Grand and Golf Resort in Lowlands. Winners of the tournament, Travis Sobers and Troy Hines, says this is one tournament that they look forward to playing at, as they would have dedicated hours of practice before competing.
It was in February. I decided that I'm going to come out every Saturday and play golf, probably around 7 in the morning. So it started from way back in February. Coming out every Saturday, try and get in some golf during the week so that we could, so that I could get, because my driver gave me troubles a lot. So, concentrate on that, chip, putt, and so forth. Those were the preparative acts.
Afternoons after work, we will try to sneak in some golf, With very little time, we'll try to play as much as we could,
According to the chairman of the board of THTI, Alison Williams, this tournament continues to be something very special for the island, as their aim is for the Golf Classic to be the best in the Caribbean.
We at the THTI promise to be the best we can be as we strive to put on the best golf tournament in the Caribbean. And we are happy that we were able to keep two constants. To keep constantly the best golf tournament in the island. And secondly, to keep changing the way we will present the combination of sports and cuisine in Tobago.
The event is not only geared at having fun, but it's an initiative to help raise funds to support the running of the institution and for undertaking new projects.
The tournament is really important to the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute as it helps us to raise funds for some of the extracurricular things that we have to do. I'll give you one of them and show you how you're helping already. Next Wednesday, 4 students from this institute will be in New York attending the Caribbean Tourism Organization's colloquium, student colloquium.
The youngest competitors in the competition, siblings Krista and Lorenzo Ken, says they enjoyed the experience after learning they placed 6th overall. They also had some advice to share.
Well, it's plenty of hard work, plenty of practicing, and you have to manage your books.
I actually had fun. It was really, really nice, like much better than last year. So I am hoping that I get to play again next year also and probably see a few more improvements, but overall it was really great.
Winners Travis Sobers and Troy Hines won themselves 2 airline tickets to the USA, sponsored by Caribbean Airlines, while second place went to Daniel Bodram and Warren Steele, and third place to Shafi Ali and Wilton Roach. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now it's time to have your say. It's the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. Let's take a look at who had their say this week with Marlon Gottsliven.
No one to ask question. What you question?
It was A. It's only spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
That's not hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now. It's that time again. It's have your say time again. And the question we're asking today is, how do you feel about welcoming Venezuelan migrants to our shores? This is what you said.
Trinidad and Tobago is about one love, one country, one heart, right? And we welcome the Venezuelans with open heart. It's good, but if not put in place certain rules and policies with respect to how we should govern them, then everything will be lost.
I don't agree with it. I think we're too small to have that. Venezuela is a large place, and I think they could expand and stay in Venezuela. They just need to find sanctuaries in Venezuela.
Yes, they need help. They could get help from across where they are.
From a humanitarian point of view, yes, we should allow them in. We should try our best to see how much we could do to help them. However, there should be stringent measures in bringing them into our country.
Tell you the truth, I don't really want them here. We don't really want them here, for real.
It is nice for Trinidad and Tobago to help people. But hear what? Trinidad and Tobago has a population of, I would say, 1.6 million people. We have crime rampant in Trinidad and by extension Tobago. And taking these people here, they're coming in droves. And these people and them are soldiers who are running from prosecution and criminals with them.
They just see what they did and then they come here.
Venezuelans and Trinidad and Tobagoans is one. Carcass is right there. Okay? It's just a water to cross and love we deal with, boy.
Anybody who has the means, the ability, the funds, the accommodation to help any other human beings must do so.
It was A. It's only spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
That's not hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
We've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, for more information on the Grafton Beach Resort, you can contact 639-0191, and for Le Grand, call on 639-9667. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close with a montage of the secondary school's Iron Chef competition. We do hope you enjoy.